Picture this. Your mom's leaving for work in the morning and she tells you to bring the chicken out from the freezer before she gets back. You're like, okay, don't worry, I'll do it later. An hour passes, 2 hour passes, 4 hour passes, and you've not still done it. So you hear her knock on the door before you realize, oh my god, I forgot to bring this chicken out from the freezer. Well, that, my friends, is procrastination, our best friend and at the same time our enemy. So fun and easy to put off tasks till later, but very, very detrimental to our productivity levels. Hey friends, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into a topic that many of us struggle with: procrastination. It's that little voice in your head telling you to put things off, to just wait till later. But we all know more often than not that later becomes too late. First things first, let's understand procrastination and why we procrastinate, because we can't overcome something if we don't know what it is and why we do it. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, procrastination can be defined as an act of putting off intentionally the doing of something that should be done. It is often focusing on easier and the less challenging tasks instead of actually doing what's more important now. It isn't just laziness, it often stems from a response to fear, feeling overwhelmed, lack of motivation, fear of failure, need for perfectionism, and identifying whatever root cause that fits why you procrastinate is very, very essential to know how to overcome it. Try to look back into the times you've procrastinated in the past. Why do you think you decided, okay, I'm just going to leave this task till later? With that aside, here are some few things that you can do to overcome procrastination and actually get things done. Break your tasks down. Big tasks feel very daunting, very overwhelming, and they look like a huge mountain that you have to cross, which is very, very discouraging at most times and can lead you to just say, okay, you know what, I can't do this. But an easier way to go about that is to break it down to whatever number you want. Break it into three chunks, four chunks, five, 10. Just break it to small, easy, manageable, and understandable chunks. When you see your tasks as chains of small actions, it feels more doable and less overwhelming. For example, if you have an essay that you need to write and submit, instead of just having it on your to-do list as write essay, you could break it down, and under the task of writing your essays, you could put out create an outline, write your introduction, pick out examples, craft your body, come up with a conclusion. Yes, even write down submitting essay as a task on your to-do list, because when you see those small small steps, they won't feel too big. When you want to allocate time to doing that essay, you know that okay, the first thing I have to do is just write my outline. Nothing more, nothing less. If I can get that done, that's it. I don't have to worry about anything until I'm moving on to the next task. Using the pomodoro technique, I'm pretty sure you've also heard it too. It's a 25-minute timer and 5 minute break, and after 4 cycles of that, you take a long break of about 2 to 3 hours to give your brain another interval to rest for that long before you go again if you're not done with your task. For example, if you have a task of working on your passion project, it may feel very daunting, but just give yourself 25 minutes max to work on that, and after 25 minutes you feel very, very motivated. So going back to the second cycle of 25 minutes 5 minute break is going to be less threatening or less overwhelming because you already know what you want to do. A little tip here that I'm going to share with you guys is, once the 25 minutes timer end, don't end your work. If your task is writing, don't end at a sentence. Maybe you could end mid sentence, so when you know that okay, after 5 minutes is done and I'm coming back to this, I'm coming back to finish something, I'm not coming back to start all over again. The 5 second rule. It's a concept proposed by Mel Robbins in her book The 5 second Rule. Simple psychological trick that involves you just counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and getting up to do your work before any sort of overthinking, hesitation, or overwhelming thoughts start to flood your brain. If you are seeing yourself feeling demotivated and you are hesitating doing a task, just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and before you reach 1, you should have sprang up to action to do whatever task it is you have to do. And a great example of this is waking up early in the morning. If you wake up in the morning, just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you could either just quickly get up at the count of 1, or before you reach 1, just quickly get up before you start having thoughts of, do I really need to stand up now, or is it really necessary for me to actually have an early morning? The 3 minute rule is also another strategy to help overcome procrastination. If you're in the danger of putting off a task, or you are just feeling hesitated to even start a task, just set a 3 minute timer and start that your task. 98% of the time, when your timer is done, you're already in that flow of continuing your task, because the main reason why we even procrastinate to begin with is the fear of starting. Just that focus on your task you had during that 3 minutes, you're just going to get your gears rolling, and you keep working on that task without even realizing that, oh, the timer already went off like 5 minutes ago. Even if after the 3 minutes you feel like, okay, let me just put it off for a bit, the task will feel less intimidating because you've already done the hardest part of it, which is starting. The main hope for all this is that after working for 3 minutes, it will turn into 10 minutes, it will turn into 30. So you're already completely done with the task without even realizing it at all. Prioritize and focus on one task. Multitasking. I know it's motivating to feel like if you do all four of your tasks at the same time, you get them done easily, but I'm here to bust your bubble, because that's 98% of the time is not usually the case. And that's because your attention and your engagement is divided. Your ideas are not ruling properly. Your attention is divided too widely that you can't even properly get one done. Focusing on one task makes the completion of that task easier and less daunting. And the best way to do this is to have a to-do list and just write everything down. That works for me, but most people said it doesn't work for them. So I'll give you a tip if it doesn't work for you. Try to have a column that says most important tasks. That will be your three priorities, maybe for the day or at a time. Condition and discipline yourself that when I'm doing that task, I am doing that task only. I'm not dividing my attention into task 2 or task 3. For example, if your most important task for that day is build your new bookshelf, once you start to build that bookshelf, you have to just keep building. You shouldn't just take a break and be like, okay, I've done a bit of this, let me move over to my essay. Just focus on doing one and getting it done to the best of your ability before you move to another. Set your priorities straight and just know the most important that you have to get done, and get that done first. Do not add another task to it and make yourself believe that you're getting the two of them done faster, because it doesn't work that way. Minimize distractions. Create an environment that supports your focus. This might mean putting your phone on do not disturb, or using apps like Oppo to block out distracting websites or distracting apps that you know that once you see them, you immediately get stimulated and you just spend like 2 more hours just wasting away time. To assist that and make sure your focus has gone up to the highest, tidy up your space. If it means clearing your decks of everything completely on it and having just your task right in front of you, by all means do so, because whatever it is that at this point can help you maintain your focus till you are done with your task is essential. Be kind to yourself. Understand that everybody, no matter how productive you might think they are, everybody at one time of the day or the other procrastinate. Instead of you to beat yourself up for it and think, okay, wow, I can imagine I've spent the entire day doing nothing and I have an assignment due by 12 midnight. Be kind and gentle enough to guide yourself back to track. Seek accountability. Knowing that someone else is aware of your goals and they are going to keep you accountable for it makes you more focused on achieving that goal, just so you can let them know that, hey, I've done this thing already, or hey, I've completed this task that I told you I was going to do. It gives you that sense of fulfillment, knowing that your friend or your family member knows that you completed that task and they are proud of you for it. It's going to be embarrassing for you to tell your friend that, okay, I'm going to get my assignment done in 2 days, and then 2 days passes, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, and they ask you about it and you say, oh no, I've not done it. So letting them know that this is my goal and this is how long I want to do it can keep you motivated enough to complete it. Remember, overcoming procrastination is not a destination, it's a process and it's a journey. It's about finding the best strategies that works well for you. What works for one person will not work for the other. If you found this helpful, share it to someone who you think will also like to find this helpful. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. This is something that I want to get into more often. Let me know what you think about it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.